it is repricing the world. And you can't reprice the world through the piece of paper, because you don't know how many pieces of paper that most people are going to print to do it. So this is the construct of all of these things are from the system that's still measuring in a piece of paper. So I find, and I have nothing against anybody that's saying that, or like, you could get a lot of views by saying the system's going to collapse tomorrow. You could get a lot of views by saying we're going to have $2 million Bitcoin tomorrow. You could get a lot of views by taking the opposite side of that and telling those people they're wrong. It actually doesn't matter. All of it doesn't matter. If Bitcoin stays decentralized and secure, it will reprice everything else.
And there you have it from Jeff Booth. Bitcoin is going to be repricing everything. It doesn't matter what you think. Doesn't matter if you think Bitcoin is going to zero. Doesn't matter if you think it's going to $10 million. Doesn't matter who's buying and who isn't. Bitcoin is going to keep doing what it's been doing, and it's going to keep funneling in everybody until the entire world is on the Bitcoin standard. And with that, what's happening, Crypto Crew? Sean's coming back at you with another cryptocurrency video. You just heard from Jeff Booth. We have more from Jeff Booth. Do not stop watching this video until the end. When Jeff Booth speaks, you want to hear what he says. He's a Bitcoin OG, hardcore Bitcoiner. If you don't understand how everything's being repriced and you're not thinking of the system in the way you need to, then you're not doing the game the right way.
Hey guys, sorry for the quick interruption, but if you're interested in trading MicroStrategy options, any other stock out there, Bitcoin, Solana, or any other crypto out there, you can now do that on MooMoo. And if you sign up with our affiliate link, which we pin in the comment section, also in the description below, when you sign up and deposit any amount, you're going to receive up to 20 free stocks, and each one of these stocks could be valued at up to $2,000. So make sure to sign up with MooMoo. Go get that free money. Now let's go ahead and get back to the video.
And getting straight into it, taking a look at the Bitcoin price, the current time this recording is coming in at 105.1. It's a little bit of an unorthodox video. It's getting released late. Got some travel coming up, and so apologies for the late video, but you haven't missed much. Bitcoin's sitting right around 105, and what do we see? What do we anticipate? This looks like it could be a falling wedge pattern, or if we zoom into this price action, we could just be trading in somewhat of a channel. So right now we are putting in a higher high at this week. We'll see when this weekly candle closes, but we want to stay above this level right here, the 104.3. So if Bitcoin can hold this, or if it closes below this, there's still some time to see, or we're going to come back down to these lower levels around the $93 range. Is Bitcoin ready for its next leg up? Next leg up, we talked technical target. We've seen 120 to 125,000. Is that right around the corner? Is the peak in? CBBI is saying not quite. Confidence we're at the peak as of January 26 is 81. Looking down at the chart here, we have not seen any dark red dots. So that's something that you want to be cognizant of and just want to be mindful of. In every previous cycle, when the dots got red, it was time to sell. Dots got red, it was time to sell. Dots got red, it was time to sell. Look, last time we got not dark red, but just a little red, we had a cool off. Bitcoin went from 69,000 all the way back down to a low of 54,000. So it was about a $15,000 reset. So could we be seeing a $15,000 reset down to the 90K range? It's definitely possible. If we look at the Bitcoin price chart, and if we zoom out on the charts, we can see this on a higher time frame, so we can get a whole picture. And let's look at some of our moving averages. And what do we see? We see that the 20 moving average is hurrying up to catch up to the actual candles. And the last time this happened, we had a lull out, sort of a downwards lull out before Bitcoin blasted up. So could we see a continuation of this downwards lull out before we see another leg up? And as you see, this looks pretty bullish on the weekly. We are a little bit overextended from the 50 moving average. So when that happens, the 50 moving average could continue to come up towards the green like so. And this can continue to come up. But eventually, when you see a lot of extension from each level, which we see from the 50 to 20, there's a lot of space in between. Like right here, When we had a lot of space, look what happened. The 20 cooled off a bit, and then we had a retracement. So will we get some type of cool off before we get the next leg up, next blast off? And look at this yellow line. Hit our head, hit our head, hit our head, hit our head. If we hit our head up around the $120,000 range, that's going to be sometime in March. So could February be a little bit boring? Could it be a lull out? That's definitely what could be in the cards. So pay attention to what's going on. The current time it's recording, you're seeing the overall crypto market capitalization is at $3.62 trillion. Bitcoin dominance at 57, Ethereum dominance at 11. So MicroStrategy, after hours we're seeing is around 353. Right now, it had a lull out, fall down into market close. We'll see what happens when the market opens on Monday. So be patient there. And if any indication, if this yellow line, we tapped it once, twice here before we had a retracement, once, twice here before, are we getting ready to have a retracement? We see this lull out right here. We had a retracement from 69 to 16. That's a bear market. So will we see something that massive, that big? Could we see that big of a downwards price action? Could we go back down to $70,000 to retest this resistance right here? Because we blasted through it and didn't really get a retest on the weekly. So could we be heading back down to this red line, but still be in an uptrend? And people would be saying, oh, bear market's over, and come back down, blast up, and then we would just continue to stair step our way up going into latter parts of this year. Is that what's in the cards? You be the judge. So getting back to Jeff Booth and what he's telling you is important of how Bitcoin is repricing everything, and everybody in the world is slowly coming into the Bitcoin funnel. Check it out.
I talk to a lot of people outside of the Bitcoin space.
Yeah.
And what I'd say is we are so crazy early on this understanding. And so part of the learning and understanding is people doing this. And there were a lot of people that were burned in exchanges. Right? There will be a lot of people burned in a whole bunch of what we call today. And then there's going to be something else. There'll probably be a whole leverage play. And lend out your Bitcoin and create leverage. And remember, if you're living in a world that's deflationary, then the debt is, you have to pay. It's harder and harder to pay back. So there's going to be a whole bunch of people like wiped out over and over and over again as they come to an understanding of what this asset class is or what this protocol means. And so, but I don't. The process to get there is going to be messy, and it's going to be messy because it's literally a shift in the perspective of each person's mind trying to understand this. So I don't think ETFs are bad. I don't think saylors are bad. I don't think any of these things. They're just way more. You hear Bitcoin in the news all the time now. So way more people are starting to have this conversation. Way more people are starting to understand this, and I almost think about it as I visualize this giant funnel with 8 billion people in it, right? And eventually, 8 billion people are going to be here, and as they're going through this this funnel, their knowledge of Bitcoin is how they experience it. So if they, like I said before, if you think this is a scam, or if you think it's bad for the environment, it isn't, but for you it is. And so you'll stay away from it. You'll continue to give the existing system more energy. And then more and more people are moving their time into this new system that's healing the world, and they're just leading the way for a whole bunch of other people to join them.